All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Hajime no Ippo, episode 76. Okay, y'all,
Right.
This is the finale of sorts for season 1, or the first run of episodes for Hajime no Ippo before we get into movies, OVAs, more seasons. This show is huge.
Yep.
So, yeah.
It really didn't take nearly as long as I thought it would. Like, because, you know, when it's like, okay, long show, right? But
I mean, it's been a year and a half, Jacob.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But the time has absolutely flown by. Like, oh man, I remember when Ippo was just a little wholesome boy. Yeah. That was like, you know, needing to deal with the bullies and stuff. And now he's having epic throwdowns that shake the stadium.
He's the featherweight champion of Japan.
Yeah.
No big deal.
No big deal at all.
No big deal.
Definitely not. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just a thing we have to live with here. But we also live in the wholesome world where Sendo will not only continue to be able to box, but he'll probably be able to like see Ippo again in the ring.
Yep.
I'm really excited about that. And what's next? What's next, Ippo?
I have no idea.
You took the first step.
World stage, like.
What's step 2?
Yep.
So y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Now. Oh, that's right. We're going to see a change in OP after this episode. Feels almost wrong, though, having it, considering, though, that the
fight's already over.
Fight's over, right?
Yeah.
Because it's the fighting, you know? But... It's interesting. There wasn't really much of a Miyata focus, though, this kind of arc with the OP.
There wasn't.
And yet Miyata is firmly kind of centered in on the OP there. So maybe
Miyata got some of the similar treatment with Date of talking about them doing fights outside of Japan, you know, and whatnot. So maybe in
Ippo
this
on
next
the road
stage,
just out and about, you know.
Yup.
It would be cool also because then you could have Miyata challenge Ippo, maybe. Whoa! Oh my god! Oh, wow! This is when he first found Takamura. Jeez.
Wait. Oh.
A boxer's fist. Okay. New reporter.
Wow.
My baka senses were tingling.
Yeah, Oh, right.
Lord of the perverts. There's nothing special about it.
Wow,
that's meta. It's my story from here on onward.
Yeah.
The faces are so dramatic. Wow. Oh, for the gym?
いや、僕にも聞かせてもらえたらな、なんて高村さんが入った頃の話。貴様、そんなこと言うまい。
Kamagawa can't control Takamura, but at least he can order Ippo around still.
Exactly.
Yeah. Whoa.
救世主か。 このぐらいにしておけ。貴様人殺しになりたいか。
おせっかいなじいさんだ。
Takamura just throws the guy away.
ナチュラルで柔らかい筋肉。まさにボクサーのために生まれてきた逸材じゃ。見たい。こいつをリングに上げてみたい。
He's like, oh, I gotta leave.
Yeah.
どうする？こんな悪たるに正面からボクシング進めても断られる。
Right.
落ちじゃ。
せっかくギタギタにしてやれたのによ。
そんなに暴れたいか。
Oh, there you go.
だか
Yeah.
ら何なんだよ。
公認で暴れられる場所を紹介しよう。人を殴り倒して褒めら
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
ルールとかあんの苦手な。
Ah.
Of course.
でもまあいいぜ。
He's scratching his balls.
ならついてこい。
He's just
Wow.
like Aoki. Just like Aoki.
よっしゃ。
Kawagawa's like, yes, 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 yes.
I can't let him know just how awesome this is.
Whoa, whoa.
よし。だいぶ体が温まって。
Okay.
しかしよ。このジム新規臭くねえか？おっさん。せっかくリングがあんだからよ。一発パッと試合と行こうぜ。試合？
必要ない。スパーの戦でも貴様の力は分かっとって。
実力とかじゃ。
The way he dodged that.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
see that?
暇つぶしじゃよ。
Here's your route.
話が違うぞ。やるんじゃなかったのかよ。
そのうち嫌でも治ることになる。ほれ。朝と夕方な。さっきのコースを3周ずつ走っとけ。
ふざけんな。
ロードのタイムは
30分切ってました。
Jeez, what a slob.
うるせえぞ。今何時だと。なんか用か。俺はボクシングをやるとは言ったが、マラソン選手になる気はねえな。
おお、逃げるのか。このロードワークを片付けたらパンチを教えようと思っとったが、意外と見か。
He's running out with his boxers and
Yeah.
tank top.
もっと気合い入れんか。
右は打たなくていいのか。
さっき教えた左ジャブだけじゃ。
いつまでだよ。
わしがいいと思う。
ふざけんな。なんだ今の。やっぱ右も打たないとボクシングって感じしねえだろ。
Oh, that's
Wow.
great. Oh, this is awesome. Then you see Takamura kind of be like kind of a hopeful, like kind of goober at points.
Yeah.
Here. He's like, am I
Waking
right?
up on his own and like,
Yeah, yeah.
今日も
だいぶマシにな
Still tied up.
そんなことより利き腕で思いっきり叩きてえよ。
る。わしはちょっと用事があって出かけるから、
uh-oh.
おやつの練習を見てやってくれ。
わかりました。
Ah.
帰ってこなくていいぞ。
サボるんじゃないぞ。
Yeah. Oh.
こら高村やめんか。高村君。これでいいか。
Wow.
Yeah, move it to the left, you know.
これでこのジムもちったいい感じになっちゃった。
今のメニューでは足らんようだな。
Oh.
新しいメニューか。右か。ワンツーか。アッパーか。
もっと楽しいもんじゃ。
Road work.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Going up the hill. Yeah.
Oh, the one he did with Ippo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, his face. Oh, that's brutal. Oh my God.
Wow. Wow.
That is just beautiful.
She's doubling up.
Yeah. Takamura becomes the monster, you know, through work. Like, he definitely had the raw body talent, you know, and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, well said. Oh, that's a jab?
Yeah.
Jeez.
あれ高村君前より痩せた
じいさんに毎日走らせてただでさえスタイル
Wow.
筋肉っていうと会長もあの年で結構筋肉落ちてるんだよね。
Oh.
こんなじいさんと比べるな見ろ
Ah!
これだけは年寄りには不可
Oh. Oh. I thought they were going with the joke of like the coach being talked about and him being like, "Achoo!" But it's
やっぱり少し熱があるんじゃない。
oh dang.
気にせんで
ほら無理しないでください。
Oh my god. He's like, no road work.
Yeah.
やっぱり今日は来てね
Yep, but his body's restless now. He can't. Yep. He's like,
寝れねえ
That's awesome. Oh, we got little kid Miyata here?
I think so, yeah. Hey, nice.
And he's manually
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
this. He's not needing to be tied
That's
down.
awesome.
言っていいぞ死んじまったかと思ったぞ
なる風じゃもう熱も下がった
Wait, so was that the point when Miyata went back and grabbed him? Is that the reason why he's...
持ってやってる
No, because there was that point where Miyata... I think that was a different point, though. Jeez.
神聖な呪文を待
So, on that front, he didn't change.
Yeah.
俺様はジジイが来ても来なくても練習するんだ
Nice.
と病気を治してから出直してこい
Aw.
Cool.
Yeah, we know, we know Kamigawa. Yeah.
最近は特に元気がいいね。高村君が
Ah.
だったからかな。やっぱり教えがいのある相手がいると会長の気合も違ってくるんだよ。
そうじゃ
Ah.
So this feels like prep for, like transition stuff. So if the movie's after this,
一汗流してくれ
Well, I think the big thing is that they're going to at some point have more focus on Takamura, and this is a story that they can kind of have as an addendum after the
決
okay,
まったか
ええ。
after the
Right.
the Ippo stuff is kind of over.
しかし相手が悪くありませんか。
そんなことはない
そう。
Yeah, he'll kill someone.
well, right, he doesn't want Takamura to realize just how much better than most of the people he already is,
Right.
Because then he won't push himself as far.
いうのスピードのあるストレートとフットワークを使わせれば。
相手なんぞどうでもいい結局俺様はジャブとロードワークとスクーター式しかやってねえんだぞ
Yeah.
Is he telling him to only to win with jabs or something?
Ooh.
Okay.
This guy looks quick. But is it just me or Takamura just looks like a monster?
余裕ですね心配事とかありませんか
そんなことないぞこれで心配しとる
But not for not for Takamura. Yeah.
いや
Yep.
世界チャンピオンになれる人間だ
Oh wow, in his first match?
ようなんて考え
Uh-huh.
るわけじゃね
1ラウンドは持ってほしいんじゃがなそれが無理ならせめて1分でも
これがプロかワンツー避けきれね
Whoa!
Hey!
Whoa! Yeah, that's your road work coming to play there, buddy. Whoa!
Pulling
The music's like
everything up the
ramping
hills
up
and
too.
stuff, yeah.
えにも
He's just chasing him down. Yeah.
俺様
Oh! And
that was his jab!
That was just his jab. Yep, he who rules the left rules the world. Oh, yep. Uh-huh. Yep. Oh my god! Oh my god! That is insane.
What?
Yeah, he's out. It's over. Yep. Punching him through the air back into the cables and then look at that face. Yeah.
They're like, we just witnessed a legend.
Yeah. And that's why he didn't want you to ever spar.
Yeah.
25 second. Right. Oh. Okay. Like a gorilla.
Yeah.
Nothing on the wall.
And he did his shoddy paint job. But
and there's like the paint spilled everywhere and like
make it as cheap as possible.
Nice.
Dang.
Wow. All right. Awesome. Ah. Oh my god.
いいじゃねえかい。
ダメです。何回言わせるの？
とかなんとか言っちゃって、しっかり上は脱いでるくせに。そろそろ俺様の世界挑戦のプランを相談しようと思っていたんだが。貴様なんとに世界など。
Wow.
And then the bell.
Yeah.
Oh, that's... Wow. All right, just a Takamura episode to send us off for future Ippo, and oh my god.
Takamura gets up again with all the welts from the cane.
With my wounded body. Yeah, it fits. It's the only way to go.
So what if they used the movie as a way to basically focus on Takamura, but in like a structured amount of time, you know?
I like it. I just feel like they would cover a bit of everything more so than that.
Okay.
It would be centered around a fight or a sequence of fights, probably.
Sure.
But I feel like for them to have a movie... Yeah. I feel like an OVA feels more like that.
Okay.
A movie is like... I mean, maybe it's not a long movie. Like, maybe it's... You know,
or maybe it's like... They need to first sort of like set up the idea of whatever the fight is or the fights are, and then actually also execute on them or something.
Yeah, I could see the fight being primarily around Takamura's, like around Takamura, but I feel like they would have other characters involved as well in the story to kind of give it.
Yeah.
All right, we got ourselves Takamura focus, and it's kind of a out of context, just backstory episode that really doesn't, have to be here, but I think it was more of a thing of where they're like, well, we're doing 76 episodes.
Right, we
finished up with
Ippo's whole deal there.
So let's just do a backstory bit.
Right, they've been building up the whole idea of Takamura going to world stage.
Yep.
And that's what's next for him. It's what's next for Ippo, so it makes sense
to
sort of like show where Takamura has come from, so that way when they go into that, they can do it for like the both of them.
Yeah. it very much feels like a moment in the story where we're reminded that Takamura wasn't always a god,
right?
But his body kind of was always one that could have become one,
right? And but he did need to be trained.
He did need to be trained
to go with Kamigawa and do what he said, and focus on the right jab and all that stuff. Or left jab. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the whole thing they were saying earlier on in the show, basically like he who owns the left basically owns the world. Like it's it's the because most everyone's right-handed. The idea that the ability to have that left quick tempo thing where you set up your punches with your left. Takamura is such a monster, such a beast, if you will, that if he gets the jab down, he has his way with you, and you just die.
Because he's strong enough.
So crazy.
He's strong enough that he can take you out. So he just needs to make sure that he hits you.
Right.
And then also maybe that you don't hit him. Right.
Right. That you don't do anything crazy to him. He just gets to be able to dictate the fight himself.
Right. Because he can end it if he's given the chance. Right. So
painfully.
Yeah.
So Takamura has always been kind of a clown, a bit of a ridiculous guy.
Bit of a ball scratcher.
Yep, absolutely. And we get to see him in that even more immature state than we did before. Right. But what I liked about this was that it really took effort from Kamigawa to basically showcase that he was showing up constantly in order for Takamura to take this whole thing seriously. Because he pretty quickly agreed to the sure. Lots of
I like fighting.
Fighting? Yeah. I don't like rules and stuff.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right.
But I mean, like, start scratching balls, just like,
But people cheering for me to beat somebody up, that sounds pretty good.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
So Takamura gets in. Kamigawa very much sees the potential in him to go the distance. Having a diamond in the rough kind of thing going on here seems to be the kind of the thing that I would say is the how do I say this? It's been repeated enough in past boxers and stuff like that with Sendo. Yeah, Aoki and Kimura weren't like their level necessarily,
because not everyone is going to be a Miyata that has some personal reason for doing boxing specifically.
Yes, exactly.
And then it's just find the people that, because of the life that they've lived up till now, have sort of naturally prepped themselves for it.
Ippo kind of is like that with all the workouts on his back and stuff in his arms.
Yep.
But I liked though that they re-emphasized specifically with Takamura that while his punches may be something ridiculous, it's the road work that turns him into an actual lethal weapon. Because that's why that other boxer seemed so quick. Is he also did a lot of road work, but Takamura just has an amazing body and did even more road work probably, so that when he starts chasing after the guy, I loved when they're all like moving around and the guy has this moment of like, oh no, he's like, wait a minute, he's not that fast. Or wait, no, it's I'm fast.
Okay, yeah.
I love how we both clued in rather quickly.
Yeah.
You clued in even faster, but just the idea that, oh, no, we're worried about what you'll do to your opponents.
Because in a lot of cases, if Kamigawa had let him spar someone else, he'd be like, nah, I'm plenty strong enough already. I don't need to push myself. I don't need to let you push me this hard because I can already clean the floor with these guys, right?
Yeah.
But he's like, no. I'm going for something else. So you know, like I feel like it's the equivalent of like the gyms that don't have any like mirrors or things like that, right? So you can't actually see your own progress.
Yeah.
Right. So that way you can get into the mode of just
grinding it out.
Just grinding it out.
You don't get discouraged by a lack of progress, and you don't get self-inflated ego from too much progress.
Exactly. So then eventually you just sort of realize, oh wait, I got the results, right?
One of my foster brothers, this was something that was really cool for him, was he got into wrestling and football around the same time, and it combined with him hitting puberty and getting like ridiculously big. There was a moment where he realized that he could swim indefinitely. Like, and I mean, not indefinitely, but like he could swim and just not get tired. And it was a really cool moment because I was like, just out there and swimming and stuff. And then he just go out into the middle of a lake.
No.
And we'd like, dude, like, be careful. And he's like, it's weird. Like, I'm not getting tired. And he just swim all around him and be like, dude, that's awesome. That's so freaking cool. And then he'd come back and be like, I'm still not tired. This is weird. And it goes back out again. And that happens where you're like, I specifically dedicated a huge chunk of my life to building some aspect of my body. And then when you go and test it out and you test for its limits, and you're like, I can't find the limits.
Right.
It's way beyond what I thought it was. That's such a cool feeling.
Yep.
So, of course, he would get addicted to boxing and being like, I'm going to go straight to world champion.
Yeah, let's go.
I can do this. Let's,
Right.
Yeah.
Just the idea of, like, we've seen people knocked out in Ippo before.
Yes.
We've seen people knocked flying in Ippo before.
Right, yeah.
We have never seen someone get knocked flying into
the net.
Into the actual lines.
The lines, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then bounce off of that and just face first into the floor.
Yeah, he went back and then front, basically.
Like, that's...
It wasn't back slump down.
It was
back bounce forward.
Yeah. Like he nearly
did a full 360 revolution, but the other direction on the bounce back. So that means if there was like a, if the ground wasn't there, he might have continued to spin all the way.
like the idea that he had air when he came back from the lines. Like, that's...
it's great because Takamura exists in this show as what would be the equivalent of the power ceiling in a battle shonen kind of thing. But because he's, on our side, we get to sometimes get inside his head, get into his perspective and see a little bit more of what it feels like, what it takes, and what the result of all this ends up being. So when we see him, really enjoying this whole thing of boxing and even in some ways kind of limiting himself in the present, like not in this backstory, but in episodes we've seen thus far, it now has all this extra meaning because it has little moments that it ties back to, like him having his right restrained or what have you.
Well, and also when he found Ippo and he had him do the leaf exercise.
Yeah.
Now, granted, he wasn't expecting Ippo to just use the one hand, but what he did teach him was the jab.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
For snatching those leaves out of the air, right?
Whoa, you're right.
Oh man,
that's
I
good.
love that. I love that because it's showing something of how Takamura, with all his blustering, with all his antics, he does listen to Kamigawa. Kamigawa does have his respect, right?
He very much does.
And that's probably what would have been the toughest thing for Kamigawa with Takamura, right? And he brought it up. Like, if I just say, like, hey, you should become a boxer, he'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever, But he sort of, hooked him in with something else.
He hooked him good.
And then he specifically was just like, yes, like he didn't let him see that he was like, oh,
so happy,
like he was
excited.
He was on cloud 9, right?
And then Takamura sees it, and he's like, why is he so riled up and so energized? He's like, well, I thought it was kind of weird how the I always forget his name, but the assistant coach was basically like, hey, well, that's because Takamura's here.
Right.
I'm like, well, Takamura's right in front of you. You can speak to him in second person.
It's
like, no, it's like, oh, that's exciting.
Well, right. He doesn't wake up super early and wait outside the apartment of just anybody that goes to the gym. Yeah. Right. Like, that's a thing, and
I gotta wonder on some level, Kamigawa, he was a boxer as well.
Yes.
So, like, what part of his journey as a boxer kind of comes into play with some of these new boxers as they come up? Because I'm sure he didn't always want to be a coach or a chief or what have you of a gym or something like that. He's, he's gotten on a lot of things, but I'm wondering in some ways in which we can kind of look back in, like you just did in a really awesome way with Ippo being taught the jab, essentially, by Takamura, who, at that point, restrained himself to never punching any of the bullies. That has a lot of extra meaning now as well.
Yeah.
Like, a lot more.
Yes. A ton more. Like, that.
So I'm wondering what other things Kamigawa might have learned lesson-wise or might have grown from through bringing these new boxers into his gym and his life, so to speak.
Sure.
So
yeah. I mean,
kind of exciting to think about.
The gym, in a literal way, got revitalized, right? doing to make it be ways that Kamigawa was okay with.
Jesus, Lord of the Perverts.
Yeah.
That is a great line to just a title to give to Takamura.
Yep.
The idea that didn't change at all.
Well, as soon as like the door closed, I was like, all right, at some point, like something's gonna happen inside that room.
Oh dang.
Like because I mean, we've seen Takamura be Takamura before, be Lord of the Perverts. There's a reason he has that nickname, right? I was just hoping that it would be consensual, which
no, we already know that he's not
but anyways, but this episode was hilarious. It was great. It had a lot of really good heartfelt moments to it that show the journeys of these characters. And I feel like for as long a show as Ippo is, right? Oftentimes I like, especially before, we would get into a lot of the longer shows that we've watched as a result of the channel.
Right.
There was this idea that like, in order to have long shows like this, you wouldn't be able to do succinct backstories like this, right?
Okay.
Like they would lose some of their impact, because how can one episode possibly recontextualize so much stuff,
for
right?
sure.
But here we see it, right? Like we see the kind of person that Takamura was and kind of still is, right? But the way that he's learned, at least in some areas of his life, restraint, discipline, those things that make it so that he can actually become a world champion, because he would not be able to without those things, right? He's good, but he's not that good, right? So
you never tell that to his face, but
right, exactly.
He is a world champion that in some ways has already kind of won that in his mind. So now he's willing to take the effort and kind of the energy that he has for that desire and just channel it all into it. And I'd say the reason why he's still a slob, still Lord of the Perverts, and yet is so disciplined and focused on that is entirely Kamigawa. Kamigawa helped form that out of the Lord of the Pervert slob.
And it spreads. It doesn't just stop with Takamura.
Yep, that was my favorite part of this episode that I wanted to bring up.
It's not just that you can teach a monkey tricks, right?
But or a gorilla.
But it's the fact that now Takamura understands the importance of that, even if it's only for certain things, right?
Hey, but he understands it,
right? But he understands it, and then he teaches it to other people, and I think that's awesome.
And not only that, we got to see a lot of the other nameless not faceless, but the nameless kind of boxers on the side. They were revitalizing their efforts in the boxing gym or what have you in order to be better, because Takamura inspired them in that way.
Yep.
And we look at what that's done for Ippo, Aoki, and Kimura. That's real.
Very real.
That's very real.
And then in the same way, because, say Ippo got inspired, right? Now there's all these other people who do it because of Ippo, right? And
the lineage continues.
They wouldn't even necessarily think about the genesis of that back to Takamura, or even especially not back to Kamigawa.
Right.
So, yeah.
In some ways, that's kind of probably why this episode was here, now that I think about it, is that it is the genesis of Ippo's journey as a boxer.
Sure, we saw where his journey started, but what about before his journey started?
Right. What is the reason as to why Ippo was even put into that position where he became a boxer? Well, Takamura had to exist in that state. How did he go into that state? Yep. Well, Kamigawa.
Why did Takamura care to actually notice Ippo and be like, hey, if you are serious, and whatnot, do this thing, right?
Right.
Takamura
doing road work on his own, just casually on a new route,
Yep.
There's a possibility that the route did go through that area all along, but I like to kind of assume in some ways that Takamura ends up getting so freaking good at road work that it's actually just too strenuous on Kamigawa to use his little moped thing to follow him.
Or just like it would take too much time. Like the amount of road work Takamura does at this point, it's like, no.
I'm exploring the whole city at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like Kamigawa will maybe, help out when he needs to do some, towing up the hill. Right?
Sure. But at that point he's towing, like a cement roller instead of, a motorcycle.
just have like a Mr. Incredible training
just
montage.
Something ridiculous.
Just pulling a train,
Yeah. But good stuff. Great stuff. It makes me a little bit more endearing to I'm more like empathetic and sympathetic towards Takamura on an emotional level because there were those moments there where you saw the goofy kind of kid also.
Yeah.
But realizing that a lot of the discipline and stuff comes from a real place of hard work.
Yeah.
I think that in some ways I am not as sympathetic to people that are perfect at something where I don't really see them struggle. And let's be real, Takamura doesn't really have much competition in the previous 75 episodes of Ippo as a show. Like, there was that one moment where he was like a little bit worried in the first round, and then he just demolished his opponent. Yeah, just leveled him. Yeah. It was disgusting.
Yep.
His biggest struggle, I would say, is that he
he's actually the Lord of the Perverts.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's the idea of that he has learned restraint in some areas but not others. And that could and it could seriously, like, even if he doesn't care about the morality of it, it is something that could legit potentially end his career. You know?
Possibly.
Like maybe not back as much back in the time when, you know, this was made.
Sure, but it could still land him in jail at some point. You know, like that's possible.
Yep.
So, yeah, Ippo season 1 complete. We are reacting to, I believe, a movie next week.
I think so.
So get hyped, y'all. If you want to see that next movie's reaction right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there. And all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general, and you can also talk with Jake about the sci-fi novel that he wrote.
That's right. He wrote a sci-fi novel called Battle Lines, and it's really awesome, and it's on Amazon. Link in the description down below. Go check it out.
Yeah, so if any that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.